What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the Air Jordan 1 High 85 in this Georgetown colorway. Today's video is brought to you by Sole Savvy. Sole Savvy is a membership-based group of like-minded, passionate sneakerheads with a true love for shoes. And within Sole Savvy, they give you the tools, the resources, and the information you need to be able to buy the shoes that you want for retail. So I've been a paying member of Sole Savvy pretty much since they started a few years back. And the thing I love most about Sole Savvy, aside from the super tight-knit community, is the fact that it gives me that one-stop shop so I know exactly what's releasing, where, and when. And being a member of Sole Savvy, there's a ton of perks. So they give you tools such as monitors for sneaker websites, along with add to cart links. They offer training sessions for big sneaker releases. There's a member-only store where they sell shoes only for retail. And most recently, they introduced something called Sole Savvy Assist. So this is a Chrome plugin and it autofills your information, your credit card, all that stuff. So basically all that's left for you to do is click confirm and buy now. So if this sounds interesting to you guys and you might potentially want to join, I've added a link down below in the description box for you guys to check out. So this is the latest colorway of the Air Jordan 1 done in this 85 cut. Redesigned and retooled to be more accurate to how the Air Jordan 1 looked like back in the mid-80s. This Georgetown colorway was actually a sample pair of the Air Jordan 1, but it was a colorway that never made it to production. But fast forward nearly 40 years later and we finally have it in hand. So these released, I believe, in Asia and Europe, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they released outside of North America on February 16th. And then they're set for a North American release, I believe, on April 2nd, and they retail for a price of $200 US or 265 Canadian dollars. And the colorway for this shoe is College Navy, Summit White, and Tech Gray. So just like most of your other 85 Air Jordan 1s, this comes in that inverted Air Jordan box. So instead of black with hits of red, the cardboard is predominantly red with hits of black. As for the shoe itself, again, like I mentioned before, so this shoe is cut a little bit differently than your standard Air Jordan 1 High. And similarly, the materials are also a little bit different as well. So diving straight into the details, on the toe box we have this tech gray colored leather with this perforated look to it. And this is a smooth leather which feels a little bit stiff straight out of the box. And when I compare this to some of the past 85 Jordan 1s to release, the cut of leather doesn't seem nearly as thick as past colorways. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have this overlay of this College Navy leather, which similarly has a very smooth feel to it. This leather covers the eyelets of the shoe, and then beneath this on the quarter panel, we have more of that gray colored leather. Overlaid on top, we have your Nike swoosh, which is done in this navy colored finish. And then moving upwards, these side wings of the shoe, this is also covered in this navy colored leather. Pressed on the lateral side only, of course, we have the Air Jordan Wings logo. This is done in a shiny gray colored finish. And then above this, surrounding the ankle collar area, we have more of that smooth gray leather. And then wrapping on the bottom of the heel, we have another overlay of this navy blue colored leather. Turning our attention back to the front, so the standard default lace these come with is a flat style lace in gray, but they also give you a secondary pair of navy blue colored laces as well. Underneath this, we have this retro or vintage looking tongue, which is constructed out of nylon, but it sort of has like a pinkish tint to it, which mimics the look of an aged sneaker. And at the very top, we have this tag with Nike Air branding done in this navy blue color. The inner collar of the shoe is decently well padded. And then pressed on the medial side, we have the size, which in this case is size 10, the production date of the shoe, and the factory code. As for the insoles, so unlike your traditional Jordan 1 High, which comes with standard foam insoles, these actually come with a very thick polyurethane insole, which feels much comfier underfoot. On the heel, we have Nike Air branding stamped on, and they also place a sticker on top as well, which breaks down a whole bunch of information including the code of the shoe, the size, and the color. And another thing to note is underneath the insole, you'll also see that this shoe is board lasted, which is one of those small touches they incorporated to make it more true to the original construction of the Air Jordan 1. And just like all your other 85 Jordan 1s, these also come with this little booklet which breaks down the tech specs of the Air Jordan 1, which is a nice little Easter egg to include. So the upper of the shoe sits atop this rubber cup sole, which is entirely done in this white colored finish. And unlike your traditional Air Jordan 1 Highs, the midsole here has a very textured feel and look to it. And another thing to note is, unlike your normal Jordan 1 Highs that release these days, the midsole on those pairs are typically just flat or straight. However, for these pairs, staying true to the 85 Air Jordan 1, you'll see it curves upwards a little bit in the middle. And of course, this being an Air Jordan shoe, encapsulated within the midsole but not visible to the eye, there is a Nike Airsole unit for cushioning and impact protection. Flipping the shoe over to the bottom, here we have your Air Jordan 1 outsole, which is very similar to the outsole we see on the Jordan 1 Highs that we know, but you really have to compare it side by side to see the little differences. We still have that circular pivot point on the forefoot, and in the middle, of course, we have the Nike logo. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these Georgetown Air Jordan 1 highs. And for those wondering about sizing, overall I feel like these run a little bit more narrow and a little bit longer than the Jordan 1 highs that we know and love today. And generally speaking, the way the shoe is just cut, it just forms to your feet a lot better. You really feel that it's hugging the sides of your foot, especially around this midfoot area. Whereas the Jordan 1 highs that release these days, when you compare it to the fit on these, they feel a little bit sloppier. So long story short, I feel like if you have narrow or normal width feet, or even slightly wide, you can definitely stick true to size. For wide footers, you might feel a little bit of pinching in this area right here. So if you have really wide feet, you might want to go up a half size and just deal with the extra length. Next up, in terms of the comfort, so the underfoot feeling with that polyurethane insole, it feels much more plush and much more cushioned than the normal Jordan 1s that we know. However, the cut of leather they use is much stiffer and it feels much firmer on foot, so these definitely have to be broken in. Straight out of the box, when you undeadstock them, you might feel that they're not that comfortable, but trust me, for my neutral gray ones for example, the more you wear them, they soften up and form to your feet and they feel much better. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, the leather quality, I know this might be a hot take, but some people equate super soft, super tumbled leather as being very high quality, so automatically they bash these ones. However, the cut of leather they use actually is good. You could tell that it's a nice genuine cut of leather. It's just a thicker cut of leather, which generally is a good thing. And even the sniff test, when you smell it, it just smells like actual genuine leather, and you don't have that strong glue smell that a lot of other Jordan 1s have. And similarly, from an overall build and the craftsmanship standpoint, honestly, my pair was very nice. There weren't any major flaws on my pair at all, so I thought this was a very well constructed shoe all in all. So with all that out of the way, now let's toss these Georgetown Jordan 1s on feet and I'll show you guys how these look. In terms of overall thoughts, I think this is another great Air Jordan 185 to release from Jordan brand. This Georgetown colorway is a very popular colorway, obviously not only because of its ties to the Georgetown Hoyas, it gives us something a little bit different than your traditional Jordan colors like the Bread or the Royals, but in its own way it's still very clean, super wearable too. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this Georgetown Air Jordan 1 High 85. What are your overall thoughts on this colorway, and what are your thoughts on the 85 cut of the Jordan 1? Do you guys prefer this look where it's closer to the OGs, or do you prefer the regular cut of the Jordan 1s that we've been getting? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram as well at esgo8. Check me out on Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Another shout out goes out to Sole Savvy, the sponsor for today's video, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.